Hey guys, it's Deb Joyce Meek from Delight of My Art, and we're going to do a fun fold today. I thought I would show you something fun to make with all of this free Sale-a-bration paper that you're able to get. I actually have 6 samples for you, but we're actually going to be making one that's not using the free paper just because I already have 6 samples of it. So I just wanted to show you, first of all, how it looks when you open these. So here is the penguin paper using 3 different patterns, and it's a fun way to showcase both sides of some DSP. If you really like both sides and you can't decide which one you want to use, you can make cards using this fold so you can see both sides. So it opens this way, and so that you have a fun pattern on the inside, and you can put your greeting right here on the back panel. You can even put a secret message on this side if you wanted to add some more, or even more on the back. So there's lots of places you could put fun messages here. You could even put something here if you wanted, or add photos. You could add a little pocket in here or something. So those are some ideas, but this is the fold that we're going to be doing. I'm not sure what the name of this fold is, but it is a fun fold. And it's especially good for using up some paper. If you have stacks and stacks of designer series paper to use up and you're not sure what to do with it, this is another good way to use up your paper and provide a wow for your recipient. So here's the third image here. I used the 3 patterns in this paper pack that had the smaller critters on it. There are 3 patterns that have smaller designs, and then there are 3 patterns that have bigger animals, and I just cut out the animals for the front and the inside of my cards. So I was able to use actually all of the 6 patterns or 6 pieces rather, for all 3 of these cards. So those are the samples using the penguin paper, but we also are able to get the deer paper for free right now too. And so I made 3 samples using that paper as well. So we've got these 3 that I did in the same fun fold using the deer punch and stamp set. I actually used the deer stamp set on these 2, and I just curved this one on a block to make that one curved. But again, this one has some fun ribbon behind the label there, and that opens that way. I think this one's my favorite with the deer in the background and this nice plaid. I love that the plaid paper comes there too. And then this one has the trees on it. These are a little bit less busy than the penguins, but they're very cute also. And then this one has trees. I put the little red rhinestone on his nose to be like Rudolph, so that's a fun different way to do it. So let's go ahead and make one of these fun folds, and I will be using the paper that goes along with the Painted Christmas Suite. This is Christmas Season and Christmas to Remember are the stamp sets that go along with it, and I picked out this really pretty patterned paper. So it's got 2 sides that I think go well together, and I'll go ahead and give this a cut. And for my background piece, I'll just be using this Evening Evergreen piece. And I've already, when I first get a stamp set, I go ahead and play around with the images in there, especially with if it has designer series paper that goes along with it. I'll go ahead and just play around with the set using colors from the paper. And so I have in my stamp set a baggie full of pieces that I've already die cut from my play around with it. So I have some blank labels. I had some stamped labels, and I think I already used those. So I have a bunch of pieces in here ready to use. Now, I used to just throw extra bits into a bigger bin, thinking that I would go back to it, and I saw somebody mention this online just the other day, and I tell you, I had the best of intentions, but I would never go into the bin in order to use those pieces, because first I'll just pull out the stamp set and go, I want to use this. Well, this way I can immediately go, oh yeah, I've got some pieces in here that I'm already planning on using this set, and these are handy right in there for me. So this is just a snack size baggy Walmart or Meyer brand or something. So just sits right in there and is really handy for me to be able to use that anytime I want. And all right, so let's go ahead and get started with the measurements. The background piece is just going to be half of a card base. It won't have the fold in it, so it's just going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I'll go ahead and give that a cut. And again, if you're just joining us, we're doing these fun folds. I had 6 samples that you can go back and see at the beginning, but we are doing this fold just like this. I'm not sure what the fold is called. Let's call it a tri-fold DSP. Oops, I'm dropping stuff. All right, so we want a base, card base at 4 1/4 by 5.5. So we don't need to have this folded. Of course, you could put it on a folded base, I guess, but I don't think it's necessary. With all the folds and spaces on this card, you have plenty of space to add extra little writings and sayings if you need to. So here's our base, and we're just going to attach this on there. So this should be 12 inches long. So I always want to check. Sometimes I slice an end off and don't realize it, but if it's 12 inches long this way, we need to cut this, am I in the camera, at 5 1/4, so just shy of our card height of 5.5. So now we have a piece that's 12 inches by 5 1/4, and we want to score that at 4 inches coming in from both sides. And which side do we want to have on the inside? I think I want this one to be the one on the inside so that it goes like this kind of, so, and has a little bit of this peeking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip, let's see, this is the inside, so this will be a fold right here. So I'm going to do this at 4 inches. Doesn't matter which side you score it on, but there is a right side and a wrong side, so sometimes I get a little technical. So we get that side. That's going to be our inside fold. And then this one's going to go back this way. So we're going to score this one at 4 inches. Just like this. So it's going to open like this, right? Now we need 1 inch scored on this side. And since it's going to score this way, I'm going to fold it this way and go to the 1 inch mark and score. So that gives us this fold. It's super easy, but it is a wow, kind of a wow card, because you're using all this fun patterned paper like this. So there's our front. We just have to glue this to our card base. I'm going to take my bone folder and give this more of a burnish. So our folds are nice and crisp. And you could leave this flappy, but I'm going to glue it down so it's because we don't need this extra little bit to open. So I'll go ahead and glue that down. And then we'll glue this to the back right here. You can see me create on the fly because I don't have an exact plan. I just kind of have an idea. So all right, we're making this fold. It's already doing its thing. This is the fold that we're making. Hi, Becky and Sandy. And Penny. Nice to see everybody watching. All right, so once we're here, we want some kind of a label piece to be able to stick our sentiment on and our little pieces on. And, excuse me. and just add some ribbon and embellishments. So in my baggie, I already pulled out some pieces that I had played with before, and I'm not sure which pieces I'm going to be using. So I cut a few of these out. I had some pine cones that might work. I had some of these pine boughs that I thought might work. I had some blank labels, so I figured I'd use this one that looks about the same size as the other one. This one comes in the matching die set. And since I didn't have this all folded to play around with, I'm not sure what I was gonna do yet. So I might do something like, ooh, that looks cool. Might do something like that, maybe stick a pine cone on the top. I was thinking about maybe even popping up this label on top. Where's my words? Have a holly jolly Christmas, perhaps, will fit really nicely in this little label right here. And I don't have any red on this card yet. I was actually thinking, in my little baggie, I didn't have any of this little sprig with the berries, and that might be a fun way to add some red to this card. So let's go ahead and stamp on some white here. See if we like that. So I have the little sprig and berries, and I didn't get the ink out yet. All right, so we've got red, and oh, here it is, Evening Evergreen. Stamp that. Let's do a couple of them just to see, and if I don't end up using them, they'll go right in my baggie, right in my stamp case, so the next time I want to play with this set, I am ready to go. Alright, I forget which way this goes. I think it's with the single berry down here. Yes, that's right. Okay. I might not get this lined up quite right. My head has to be in the camera. Oh, that looks good. All right. Okay, so we've got two little sprigs here. And I'm just going to rough cut those out so I can bring my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine up here to give those a cut. Hopefully that's close by. Let's see, where'd you go? So, excuse my squeaky chair. I love this little one. I have the big one because I have some bigger embossing folders, but this little one, my desk tends to get filled up with stuff so fast that this is really nice to have because it fits. I can clear a small space for it really easily. Okay, so die out. I'm going to get a piece of washi tape to make sure that this doesn't budge once I put the top plate on. And if it's a little off, that's okay. It's just going to be an embellishment on the front there. Oh, that looks good. And we'll just keep that washi tape right on there and use it again. Oh, it's a little too sticky this time. All right, let's stick this plates back in. Is anybody thinking Christmas yet? I'm not really, I guess. Just playing around with this new stuff because it's fun. I see all the Halloween stuff in the stores already, though. I really haven't gotten there mentally yet either. I'm still stuck on summer. I want summer to last quite a bit longer. I'm not ready for fall, although I love hoodie weather. What's your favorite season? Make a comment. What do you like the best? I wish we could have spring, and then summer, and then fall, and then spring again. I wish we could just skip winter. I'd be totally okay with that. Gets a little chilly here in Michigan in the fall and in the spring, so that's plenty cold for me. All right, so we've got our 2 little sprigs here. I'll put my die back before I lose it. All right, so we've got all these little pieces to play with. I love having options, and we're gonna need some dimensionals too. Excuse my squeaky chair, I'm gonna need some WD-40 or something. All right, so I do want this popped up on dimensionals, but I'm not sure if I want to stamp directly on this or if I want to stamp on this one. Let's go ahead and try this, have a holly jolly Christmas on this one, and see how that looks. I'm going to do it in red. That will draw this red berries out. And I only have one of these die cuts, so hopefully it's straight. If it's not straight, I can try the other side right. Becky says she likes spring and Mary likes fall. Yeah, fall doesn't seem to last long enough, and neither does spring. We could have spring and fall. I wouldn't want to skip summer, but we could have a shorter summer and just have really long springs and falls. Totally okay with that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Maybe we could have this poking out from behind here. Or do we need that piece at all? Just playing around. This is what I do to make a card. I just play around. That's what you gotta do. Ooh, that's kind of cute. Right? Do we need a pine cone in there? Maybe a small one. Got that one. I might cover it up with this one. Or maybe it can go on top. That's a little big, isn't it? Maybe underneath. I don't know about that pine cone. Because we have this one, and this one's covered with snow, this one's looking a little plain. Like it didn't get some snow. Maybe I'll skip that one. I'll just add it like this. I think that looks cool. All right, so let me get my glue. I'll get my runner. Since this side opens, I don't want to add any adhesive that overlaps over to this flap over here. So I'm going to make sure when I'm putting things down that I only add adhesive to stuff that will land on this side. And I think I will put this up on dimensionals, but this can be flat. So I will put this, does that look like a good spot? Yeah, like that. Ish. Give it a little bit of stuff. We can still add some right here. All right. If these little webbings of glue bother you, you can stick your scissors in there and kind of get them to stop showing. Got a little bit more right here, and it's not a big deal if it does show. It's just if you're picky. All right, that looks cool. And I'll lay this down again for visual sake. And we'll add this right here. And let's add this one kind of poking out this side right here. Ooh, that looks cool. All right. Now I can put this up on dimensionals. Again, we don't want to put it on this side because that will be overlapping. So we're going to put it in the middle. And we can put one on this side. All right, there's our front. I think we should add some rhinestones. What do you think? We got these cool red rhinestones. I love that this package has all red, because then you can mass produce Christmas cards with the same embellishment. Same with the all silver rhinestone ones. It's nice to have the option of a bunch of the same kind. It's also nice to have a variety pack of different colors too. So, all right, I'm gonna want one there, one down here, maybe over here. Oh, looks nice. Now, I didn't add a ribbon to this. I was thinking about it, but I think it looks good without it. We got some Wink of Stella on this white cutouts, so I think that'll do. And this inside piece was 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'll go ahead and cut another piece of white. Get those out of the way, maybe. All right, don't look at my desk. Need this white piece. This is not a straight edge, so I'm going to go ahead and straighten that off real quick. And this might be thick. Is this thick? It's a thick piece. I'm going to use this littler, thinner piece. We don't need it to be so thick on the inside. This is 4 inches, so I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and that gives us a nice piece in the middle. It covers up a bunch of the inside for your writing, but you don't have to write very much because it's kind of small, and that gives it a nice border. You can see the background paper, which is kind of the focal point of this whole fancy card. Ooh, this is nice. I like this. What do you think? Oh, I like that. All right, so what should go on the inside? Saying, oh, this is where we could use one of those pine cones. This would be perfect right here, right? We could have a little sentiment right there. Okay, so here's the stamp set again. We said, have a holly jolly Christmas. So let's do love and joy come to you and may it last the whole year through. That's a nice inside saying. My middle name is Joy, so I like spreading the joy here. All right, we need a block for this one. And let's do it in red again. Bring some more red to the inside. So I'm going to put this aside and stamp right here. Becky says, so pretty. Thanks, Becky. All right, hopefully this is straight. That looks good. Put that aside to wash later. All right, we can adhere this on. Should we put it on this side or this side? Let's do it on this side. Well, actually, I'm going to put it on the left. Woohoo! Now on the inside, I wouldn't add any dimensionals because it will be too poofy as it's folded up. So just remember that any extra little decorations that you add to the inside, don't add rhinestones or three-dimensional things because it will just poke through and just be bulky, start bending things. So all of this will be flat. Yeah, that looks cute. Okay, so there is our fun fold tri-fold card using a piece of 5 1/4 by 12 inch piece of DSP. So you just score again at 4 inches, 4 inches from this side, and then 1 inch from the end. And that's about it. but it makes a really nice wow card. So there's that one. We'll show all the rest of these off for the last little second here. We had these 3 deer ones and this free Sale-a-bration paper. Am I up high enough that it's in the frame? And then we also had these 3 using the free penguin paper that's available through the end of September. So we're coming up on the end of our freebies at the moment. And then here's the one we just did. So you can always buy this one through the end of December. I think through the end of, or through January 4 or something like that. But yeah, that's our fold right there. So I'm glad that you enjoyed watching this, and if you would like more free tutorials, you can join my email list. This card actually will be one of the ones that I'm featuring in the email coming up the 3rd Tuesday. So it's a free Tutorial Tuesday emails. Go ahead and send me a message if you'd like to be added to the email list. I'll show you how to make these wings here. So yeah, have a great day, guys.